Harry, but was wrapping him around her little finger, preparing to exploit his royal status for all she was worth.
Side by side, I see a man completely besotted by her, madly in love, and I see...
Okay, time to rip the Band-Aid off because wow, what a mess. Meghan and Harry, their perfect love story? Yeah, it's looking more like a perfectly crafted illusion. Behind the yoga poses, the staged cuddles, and those fairy-lit kitchen date photos, something is way off, rotten even. And guess what? The cracks in their picture-perfect world aren't whispers anymore. They're full-blown alarm bells. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have just been called out for faking their marriage. Not joking. While fans swoon over their curated love bubble, insiders are calling it what it really is, a total marriage meltdown, hiding behind Instagram filters and PR strategies.
Queen Elizabeth was angered by Prince Harry and Meghan.
And no, it's not just a bad day or a little spat. It's being called a full-on crisis. And get this, it wasn't a screaming match or someone storming out that set it off. No, it was a private, tension-floating conversation behind closed doors that was never supposed to leak, but it did. Insiders near their Montecito mansion say the couple tried to have a reconciliation talk. Sounds sweet, right? But this wasn't some teary heart-to-heart corporate meeting meets therapy buzzwords with a dash of panic because they know the whole world is watching. A staff member nearby overheard snippets, and let's just say it wasn't good. No warm vibes, no we'll get through this. It was ice cold.
Of her life, her career, everything that she was achieving. In fact, to just be part of the British monarchy and his life. Now, though, what he's finding is very much that the couple are indeed...
The whole thing sounded more like a business negotiation than a couple in love, like two CEOs trying to save a sinking company, because that's exactly what it is now. Harry and Meghan, the brand. And right after this stiff, awkward conversation, boom, they post a cutesy throwback photo of them dancing under fairy lights in the kitchen, holding hands, smiling, playing house. But behind the scenes, Meghan was reportedly threatening to take the kids back to LA without Harry. Yikes, fairy tale shattered. Suddenly, it's not who wears the crown, it's who's sleeping in the guest house tonight.
Things to celebrate an anniversary, showing it to the world. Surely, if they really were as happy as she makes out, she wouldn't need to...
Now let's talk about Harry. According to palace-adjacent insiders and one bold Hollywood source, Harry's been unraveling. Quietly, but noticeably. He's distant, checked out, and he's spending long hours at the polo club, supposedly training. But word is, it's not about the polo. It's about space. Space from Meghan, space from the media circus, and space from a reality that looks nothing like the dream they sold us. Meanwhile, Meghan's out here grinding like it's Emmy season, launching Rosé, pushing the American Riviera Orchard brand, and trying to position herself as some Martha Stewart meets Gwyneth Paltrow hybrid. But here's the kicker. A source inside their PR team says Harry is done playing the role of smiling husband accessory. During that now infamous Unity talk, Harry reportedly snapped, "I left the royal family to escape this exact game. I didn't leave one machine just to be part of yours. Let that sink in. That's not just tired frustration. That's a man waking up and realizing he's been sold a dream, only to find another gilded cage, this time with avocado toast and California sunshine." Meghan, not missing a beat, reportedly hit back with, "You knew who I was before we got married. Don't pretend I changed." Ouch. That's not the kind of line you toss out in your first argument. That's the kind of line that's been waiting to come out, rehearsed even. To the world, they're rebels, truth tellers, anti-establishment icons. But behind closed doors, they're just two people exhausted from fighting the same fight over and over and not budging an inch. And now there are whispers, not of divorce, not yet, but of something just as telling. Separate rebranding. Yep, Meghan and Harry are exploring solo ventures. Meghan's PR team is already pitching solo projects, lifestyle, memoirs, maybe a Netflix cooking show. Harry's apparently eyeing a documentary on veteran mental health without Meghan involved at all. If that's not a giant neon sign flashing, "We're done playing couple goals," I don't know what is. And oh, it gets even juicier. And now for the part that'll make your jaw drop, former staffers are breaking their silence. One even spilled the tea on a podcast, yes, a podcast, and basically hinted that Meghan and Harry have been rehearsing their affection. No, we're not talking about learning each other's love languages. We're talking rehearsed hand-holding, practiced red carpet glances, literally counting out how many seconds to smile during interviews. It's not real anymore, the source said. It's content, and let's be honest, it shows. What used to be spontaneous now feels forced. Their every move reeks of performance. No more sparkle, no more warmth, just two people stuck in characters they don't even like playing anymore. Harry, once the free-spirited rebel prince, now looks like he's stuck in a never-ending episode of Keeping Up with the Sussexes. And Meghan, she's always 2 steps ahead of every word he says, like she's mentally editing his script in real time. The body language doesn't lie, the strange smiles, the way Harry avoids eye contact, the way Meghan leads, speaks first, ends the sentence for him. It's not partnership, it's production. And don't even get us started on the therapist rumors. Those didn't come out of nowhere. Multiple sources say the couple started high-stakes therapy sessions earlier this year, not to reconnect, but to salvage the scraps before everything falls apart. And get this, the therapist actually suggested they take a break, a literal break, space, cool off, reevaluate. There were off-the-record chats with friendly journalists, secret edits to upcoming press releases, and even whispers that Harry was this close to backing out of their next big appearance, a veteran summit he's deeply passionate about. But according to 2 very plugged-in insiders, he told his team he couldn't fake it anymore, that he didn't want to sit next to Meghan, smile on cue, and sell a fantasy to the camera. He's tired of pretending, and who can blame him? Living a double life, public bliss, private chaos, will break even the strongest person. Oh, and let's not forget about those secret UK calls. Yup, Harry's been phoning friends back home. Not just casual, hey, what's new calls. These are help, I'm drowning type calls. Some say he's even reached out to Princess Eugenie, his longtime confidant. If you're happily married, you don't need to make secret support calls to your cousin across the pond. That's not marital bliss, that's a cry for help. Meanwhile, Meghan, she's busy reconnecting with the LA scene, attending hush-hush dinners with streaming execs, booking meetings with potential brand partners for projects that don't include Harry. One Hollywood insider put it bluntly, she's preparing for Meghan Markle 2. No more duo, just Meghan. There's even talk of a docu-series, wine branding offshoots, self-empowerment workshops, everything solo. One Netflix producer source straight up said she's ready to relaunch. Meghan Markle, period, no Harry. And this didn't just pop up overnight. Apparently, she's been planning this slow pivot for months. Ever since the Spotify deal flopped and the Netflix buzz cooled, quietly, smartly, Meghan's been stepping out of Harry's shadow, rebuilding her brand brick by brick. Not out of malice, but strategy. And Harry, he's not blind, he's noticing. And according to someone who worked closely with the Archwell team, he finally called it out. Said she's turning their marriage into a business. Sick of the scripts, sick of the fake, sick of being a prop in her rollout. And can you blame him? From the outside, it's looking more and more like Harry traded Buckingham Palace for another brand prison, one with rose bottles, Martha Stewart Pinterest boards, and a never-ending calendar of fake moments. And here's the kicker. Sources close to Meghan insist she still cares deeply for Harry. She believes they can fix this as long as he gets with the program. Follows the strategy, buys into the narrative. But that's the thing, Harry's not a brand. He's a guy who lost his mom, got eaten alive by the firm, and thought he was finally escaping into something real. Instead, he's on a never-ending press tour with no off switch. And now, there's something no one wants to admit but can't ignore. The money, the deals, the optics. Their entire empire depends on being seen as a strong, unified power couple. No one's cutting checks to a broken brand. No one wants to film a docuseries about a marriage hanging by a thread. That leaked conversation wasn't just about feelings. It was about survival, about whether this whole thing, relationship, brand, legacy, can even keep going. Some insiders are whispering about a trial separation. Not a divorce, not yet, but space. Harry back to London, Meghan firmly in California. They'll sell it as a global expansion of their charity work, of course. Behind the scenes, it's damage control, emotional triage, a way to save what little is left personally and professionally without losing it all. Just 2 years ago, that would have sounded impossible, but now it almost feels inevitable because let's face it, the fairy tale has been on life support for a while now. The palace exit, the Oprah shocker, the Spotify high, it all painted a picture of 2 brave souls defying the system. But now, the only system left is each other. And even that is collapsing. And honestly, you can see it, you can feel it. Harry barely smiles anymore. Meghan dodges every single question about him like it's a live wire. And during their most recent appearances together, the energy is so stiff, so forced, they may as well be hosting each other on a podcast. The chemistry, gone. The connection, it's not even subtle anymore. It's visibly off. The fans see it. Even the die-hard supporters, the ones who defended every move, reposted every smiling photo, believed in the the fairy tale, they're starting to ask questions. Why does Harry always look uncomfortable? Why is Meghan always doing the talking? Why do they look like business partners instead of a couple? And most importantly, what exactly are they working so hard to hide? Because here's the brutal truth. Everything, the marriage, the unity, the brand, the dream they sold of escaping the royal system and starting fresh, the myth of love conquering all, it's all starting to crack under the pressure of real life, real cameras, and real consequences. All that's holding it together right now? PR, pixels, strategically dropped Instagram posts, and glossy, well-lit distractions. And the silence? Oh, that silence between them? It's louder than any headline. So where does it go from here? Well, if we know anything about how these two operate, a damage control move is probably already locked and loaded. Expect a sudden, sunny photo dump, maybe Harry baking with the kids, Meghan laughing in the background, a blurred out fairy light strung over a rustic cutting board, something that screams, see, we're fine, but we're not buying it anymore because the cracks are real, the warmth is gone, and no amount of candid giggles can hide that now. What's really happening behind the scenes isn't a comeback, it's a reckoning, a slow unraveling of a brand that's lost its soul. Meghan and Harry aren't in love on a mission, they're in a power struggle with a deadline. And that secret conversation, the one they thought would never see daylight, it wasn't just the beginning of a crisis, it was the moment everything shifted. Because once the truth starts slipping out, once the illusion begins to fall apart, there's no clean way to glue it back together. You can't PR spin a relationship that's being held together with resentment and photo ops. And Harry knows it. That's why he's calling old friends. That's why he's going quiet at events. That's why he looks like a ghost of the man who once lit up rooms with his cheeky grin. And Meghan, she's moving full steam ahead because for her, the show must go on, with or without Harry. One insider even said she's not waiting for him to catch up. She's already halfway to the next chapter. Whether that's in lifestyle media, solo Netflix shows, or luxury wine branding, she's ready to pivot hard, no strings attached. And if a trial separation happens, they'll frame it as strategic. Global expansion, balancing projects in different countries, strengthening the brand through independence. But behind closed doors, it'll be something entirely different. It'll be space to breathe, space to figure out whether anything between them is real anymore, or if the whole thing has been running on obligation and optics for too long. Because the sad truth is, what started as rebellion turned into performance. What looked like freedom turned into another form of control. What was supposed to be love became a brand. And now, with all eyes still watching, they're hanging on by the thinnest of threads. The fairy tale is cracked. The castle's gone. The kingdom? Just a carefully edited feed and a stack of NDAs. And the ending? We're not there yet, but the show's not fooling anyone anymore because when the lights go down, when the curated moments fade, when Harry and Meghan are left with nothing but each other, no audience, no producers, no spotlight, what's left? Just the silence. And the world, it's watching.